So we've come this far into the year. We are rapidly getting closer and closer to the onslaught of AAA games at the end of the year. Holiday season, it gets insane. But before we get there, we have massive backlogs. You might not. So I figured we might try and help you out with that. I've got Meg and Jason here with me, who have also played, I'd say, a decent number of games this year.
Yeah.
Less than I had previously, but I think this is a Switch phenomenon, where games that you've played on other systems, now you can just play them in your hand while you're waiting on the bus. Like the amount of Gungeon I've played on the Switch is equal to what I've played on the other
I have issues
platforms.
with that because now I'm actually getting bang for buck with using my Switch because I was worried that I might leave it at home and never use it, but I catch
Vita
so much
2.0.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm actually embracing it. I'm okay with the fresh content.
Yeah. And so it's been interesting. It has been the rise of the Switch as the indie console du jour. Like, I know Dead Cells, they were reporting that they sold 4 to 1 on PS, like on Switch.
And Celeste got quite a lot of sales on Switch. Like, we're seeing a lot of indies. So many of them coming out on Switch as well as a lot of other platforms, and seeing so much success. And I feel like a lot of that comes down to the like how many games, like the flood of games that come out on other platforms. But I mean, coming down to stuff that you guys have played, what would you recommend to people that are like trying to fill time before the AAA onslaught?
Look, every year, well, the last 3 years, they've released 2 Attack on Titan games, and they have both been fantastic.
Whoa, I was ready for that
they
to be
have
like
been
terrible.
absolutely awesome.
Okay.
And so this one, what it did was it bolted on like romance elements. So you can chat up particular people. Yeah.
Why haven't I played this?
Yeah, I know. Like, so it's like you chop Titans and then you like chat people up, you buy them gifts, all that kind of dumb shit. And you Forrest Gump yourself in there so you can put your own character. Like, I literally make Forrest Gump like I do and all that kind of stuff. And then so you Forrest Gump yourself in there, and then you can like interact with all the Attack on Titan people. To like, if anything, the controls are they change one of the buttons until one of the main attack buttons, so it kind of throws you a little bit. So you have to rechain yourself. But Attack on Titan, like 1 was fantastic. Attack on Titan 2 just as good.
Do I have to know anything about the franchise to jump in?
Yes and no. It does a pretty good job of explaining. You've heard of Attack on Titan. You've seen the things.
Anime's great.
But it goes through the series. So basically, it goes through the series, and then it actually introduces these character moments, and whether they're canon or not, I don't know. But like character moments you would not have seen. But as far as anything goes, it follows the manga story over the anime story. So it's actually further ahead than the manga, than the anime is at the moment. So like that's generally one of the best games. And then I gotta say, Meme Cooked. Like Meme Cooked is fantastic.
Yeah.
Even
after when we played it in studio, I'm not
I
sure.
love that.
I'm not
You're
sure
talking about Overcooked too, by the way.
I'm not sure if that footage is going to see the light of day. I hope it doesn't, truthfully.
Wow, I loved it though. It was my first one that we did together as a family.
Pretty intense.
Yeah.
And all we did was abuse. All I did was abuse Megan.
Abuse everyone.
I screamed a lot.
Yeah. But like that, and then probably honestly, like, as much as I can sit here and pick the flaws in it for a long time, and I could, and I mean I did in the review a little bit, but God of War, for all of its faults and all of its pomposity, was still one of the best games of the year. Like it will probably win Game of the Year from a lot of people.
It absolutely
but
will.
Yeah, I don't think I think in another year, I think in last year it still wouldn't have won. You know, I mean, like it's still a very good game, but last year had such a strong list of titles. I don't think it would have won. I think it was just the best game of a quiet year so far. But then again, we have a lot of stuff coming.
I don't think the quiet year is really factual. I think, of course, lack of AAAs are all in Q4 coming up, or later half of the year. That's fair to say. But there have been some incredible golden nuggets that have truly impressed myself and a lot of other gamers I know because they're sort of a bit left field. The ones that might have been announced at E3 last year and then have really sort of come to light now. And what I'm talking about is A Way Out. Now, I reviewed this.
Left of field,
Well, I reviewed this earlier in the year when it came out, and it was honestly to this day, it's been one of the best couch co-op games I've ever played. And it has such an incredible story, and the way that it unfolds in the environments is so explorative, and it's really.
Plus all those character moments, like when they're watching stuff, they're talking to people.
The graphic style is really special. It's totally stands out from the crowd, and if you haven't played it already, I'm sure it's in the bargain bin already, but do yourself a favor. It's unreal. Can't play it without a partner, which is the best part.
Yeah.
It's good.
Gotta have a friend. Any others?
Honestly, Ni no Kuni 2 is a standout for me. I played the first one.
Wow, she's doing weed games now. We have infected her.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm part of the family now, guys. I live here now.
Welcome.
Yeah, and it was a really fantastic success to the first title. And not only that, the gameplay itself is really immersive, and it really was more polished than the first title. One of the most gorgeous, prettiest PlayStation games.
It looks so good.
It is unreal, and it unravels and goes for hours. It's literally one of the longest games I've ever played.
And then the DLC hasn't even come out yet, and that's coming soon.
Looking forward to it. I mean, whenever that drops.
That's what the whole desert world. It's gonna be interesting. So.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's been an interesting turn because we have had good games come out, but like, I just don't think there's been anything besides really God of War that you would consider an A-lister that stood out? Like, well, I mean, the Detroit is probably the other one.
That was my third recommendation.
But I hate David Cage, like emotions. Sure. So you know, it's like
I love the Uncanny Valley in Detroit Human. It's honestly one of the most exciting character-driven game, like dialogue-driven narrative titles that have ever come out next to Telltale.
Welcome to David Cage. So,
I love the mapping as like after you reflect on your chapter that you've had with this particular character, you can see how many choices you've messed up and the ones that you haven't even dabbled in at all and really haven't touched on. And I think that is such an incredible title, worth having a look at.
We still have so many AAA ones coming. Before they hit, my quick recommendations probably be Celeste. I ate that up. Well, I mean, like pixel art wank. I love that stuff.
I believe it. It sounds great.
So good. And
I haven't played it.
It also
Super Meat Boy with Soul.
Okay.
It was pretty good. Yeah. And then like the story, obviously like the narrative kind of caught me off guard because coming from the Towerfall dev, it's like, okay, cool, you're going to be able to make a game that feels really tight. But then it came across with this really
it's Matt Max Games, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
right, okay.
Yeah, same dev. And it came across with this story that handled like mental health and those kind of topics in a really mature way. I love that.
It's really refreshing. I love the sound of it already.
Yeah. And then the other one would probably be, what was the other one?
Monster.
Oh yeah, the Switch one.
Monster Prom. It wasn't a Switch one, it was a PC one actually.
My bad,
so it's a visual novel dating sim. Who would have guessed? Another one. This one came out on PC earlier this year actually, and it's a multiplayer visual novel dating sim.
Okay.
So it is a competitive situation.
Oh.
So
you got to compete for your wank bait, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like a mess, but I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, so like I've been like that's those kind of games you can kind of keep going back to. Like Celeste, you can try and like score, like just keep outdoing your own scores. But then Monster Prom is because it's got that kind of like forking dialogue. You can keep exploring and keep going.
Well, I mean, like they can make a dating sim about pigeons. So like, what the hell ever.
That's true.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like now we're coming up to the biggest time of the year, Q4, all the massive AAA titles. So what we're saying is, if before the storm happens, get amongst the titles that might have slipped through the cracks.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. I want to add on one more thing before we go.
Okay.
I am calling it now. Next year, they're announcing consoles.
Whoa.
We are hitting that lull. Next year, they're announcing consoles.
I kind of hoped it would be this year.
They're
after the year after Xbox One X.
Woo, that big console launch.
It was a big investment from them.
Well, what it'll do, it'll just shift to Xbox One X will become the new minimum standard, and then the next one will come out.
Not confusing at all.
But it won't come out in It'll come out in 2020. They'll announce them in 2019. Because name a PlayStation game that's coming out after Last of Us. Last of Us will be the swan song.
Cyberpunk.
But that's multi-platform. That's everything, yeah.
Question: do you guys own 4K TVs yet? And would you upgrade with the new consoles?
I do not give a shit in the slightest about 4K
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Too much.
Yeah, no. It's one of those things like to me, it's one of those things. If the game needs 60 frames, I'll care. But realistically, I could give a shit about 4K.
Good to know.
Like Grandpa doesn't care. So, but call it now consoles. And if we're going one step further, they're going to do a powered Switch dock. They're either going to do. Powered Switch dock.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
Powered Switch dock.
You had it here first.